What's up, you bad motherfuckers? Welcome back to another Raw Talk podcast. And we're doing it with a video today. And to be honest, I am getting new equipment to do the podcast better. But you guys don't even give a shit about that. All you hear is for the stories and for the random stories that I get to tell you here on the Raw Talk podcast. And that's what this podcast is all about, is me shooting this shit with you guys and making you guys entertained for 20 to 30. And with that being said, guys, you guys got to stand the fuck up and you guys got to listen. You know, podcasts come and podcasts go, but you got to be consistent. And that's the way with everything in life. If you're not consistent, you ain't going to get nowhere, partner. That's the way with jobs. That's the way with relationships. If you're not consistent, that's with diets. That's with everything. And a lot of you people out have never been consistent in your life. So you don't have that set routine. And when you have a set routine, ladies, that's when you pretty much know what you're going to do from day to day. And to be honest, for a lot of people, they have no clue what they're doing day to day. And you cannot live your life like that. I think the people who live their day-to-day life, like, what are you going to do today? I don't know. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. That's shitty. You can't live that shitty life. You gotta get off your ass and do something. You can't live your life of, I don't know. What are you going to do tomorrow? I don't know. You can't do that. You got to get the hell up and know what you're doing day to day. That's why jobs are a set routine of Monday through Friday or Thursday through Sunday or Sunday through Thursday or whatever your routine is. You have to have. I mean, seriously, that's why podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience is so successful. It's a set routine. The same thing with the Church What's Happening Now. It used to be every 2 days, like every twice, or I should say every 2 days, every day. It should be every day or twice a week for 10 years. They've been doing the podcast, and that's crazy to be a successful podcast and do it for 10 years consecutively. Keep pumping out podcasts. And the reason I think people love podcasts is when people really shoot the shit and you really open up and you explain to people who you are. That's the same thing with like the YouTuber CTFXC. Charles Trippy has been around on the YouTubes since 2009, and he's been making videos every single day since 2009, not missing one damn video. And if you think about it, that's absolutely bonkers, nuts, crazy. Motherfucker hasn't even missed one day of uploading videos in like 12 years, and he's still pumping out videos. He's documented his brain surgeries. He's documented. And it's not people love vlogs and love vlog videos and what vlog videos stand for. That's not even the case, baby. They love the character. And that's why people love like the Joey Diaz, because it's the character behind the podcast. It's not the podcast that makes it successful. It's not the podcast that's popular just because he's a comedian. No, it's the character. Why do people love Charles Trippy and the CTFX? It's because of the character makes it entertaining, and you know who you're going to watch every time you go into it. And, like, I compare Charles Trippy with Joey Diaz, right? Joey Diaz tells the stories of him being, like, a drug addict, mugging people, beating people up, getting hit with a lunchbox in the head. Charles Trippy, on the other hand, he tells the story of his life from being a normal YouTuber to becoming the bass player of We the Kings, becoming a successful YouTuber when vlogging was at its very infancy, and then becoming a big vlogger. And he has like 1.2 million subscribers, and only now gets like 1,000 views per video, and he's still pumping out videos because he loves making YouTube videos, but he loves sharing his story. So people love watching that kind of shit when people are really being themselves. So when you're watching somebody like Charles Trippy or somebody like a Joey Diaz, you connect to them. You relate to some of the stuff they talk about. Or you go, yeah, I used to be a drug addict, and I did this. Or I used to be a nobody YouTuber, and I became successful in this field. And Charles Trippy became a successful bass player in the band We the Kings. And We the Kings is, I think, like a pop punk band, maybe emo music. I'm not really sure. But he took his passion for vlogging and made all the members in the band end up making vlog videos. And now, because of the pandemic, everybody in the band is still being able to make videos because they're still being able to upload to YouTube and get views. And yes, they're getting a lot of attraction because they're in a professional rock group, right? But the thing is, Charles Trippy was not always a famous dude. He just uploaded videos to YouTube because he loved making YouTube videos. And a friend of mine was saying, we would all love to make successful YouTube channels, even if it was like 1,000 views a month, or 1,000 video views per video, and you were constantly getting, like, let's say $400 a month or $500 a month, but something that would be relevant enough that you would be able to make a decent living. I'm even saying like $500 a month would be a pretty decent money. It would give me a little bit extra cash in the pocket, right? And like I told him, I said I would rather be a successful podcaster and interview people and talk to people than actually be a successful vlogger, okay? Because I love shooting this shit with you guys, and I think vlogging is kind of the same thing as a podcast. Like if you're telling compelling stories through your moto vlog, let's say all you do is moto vlog, but it's like a podcast and you're just telling stories, I think that's more enlightening than just driving around on your motorcycle, maybe talking about your motorcycle problems. So if you're riding around on your motorcycle, but you're telling compelling stories of the time you got your ass beat in elementary school, then I think people might understand who you are and where you're coming from. That is the truth. So today's podcast is all about me going to Las Vegas and going with my friend for his 21st birthday when he brought his grandma, his mother, and his sister. Wait, you're going to Vegas for a 21st party? Yeah, we're going to go get tore up from the floor up, and we're going to go drink at the Coyote Ugly Bar. But why would you bring your mother, son? You tell me. So like I was saying, when it comes to going to Las Vegas with your friends, you don't really think of bringing your parents. Why would you? Like I said, I don't really know why my buddy had his parents go with him. I'm assuming it's because at that time, I noticed as a friend, my friend's mom babied my friend. So it was basically like, oh, she's babying him, and that's the reason he's acting the way he's acting, and that's the reason his mom is going on the vacation trip. So like I was saying, he invited me to go to Las Vegas, and at the time when he asked, I was like, nah, man, I don't have the finances that can support a Las Vegas trip, which is true. I was like, nah, I just don't have the money, but I would love to go. And he goes and says, no, man, I have an extra plane ticket. And I said, oh, you have an extra plane ticket? He goes, yeah, I have an extra plane ticket. I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't, because it would be weird if I didn't have an extra plane ticket, because we would end up getting on 2 different flights, ending up in Vegas at 2 different times. So I said, sure, I'll go to Las Vegas. And he goes, well, my mom, my grandma, and my sister are going, and this is for my 21st birthday. And I asked him, are we going to get drunk? Are we just doing like a family vacation? He goes, well, my mom and my grandma have never been to Vegas, and my sister hasn't either. So it's kind of a family vacation, but on my 21st actual birthday, we're able to go and get drunk. So when he says that, I'm like, oh, so I'm going to be basically like the third wheel kind of person, just hanging out with your family and your grandma, and we're not going to be able to do the things that Vegas really has to offer, like a strip club, the real fun shows, the zip lining, the crazy stuff that Las Vegas has. We're not going to be able to do it because we're hanging out with your grandmother, and I don't want to just go to Vegas and party, because I'm not really a party person. But when I think of Las Vegas, I don't think about hanging out with my grandma and going to like circus or the casino and just gambling, right? I think of not just going there and shopping. I think of actually going to like maybe a strip club or a strip show or something like that. So my buddy was like, well, I did get tickets to go to this vampire strip show. And I was like, what's that? He goes, it's more like a burlesque show. So you basically had vampires that were dancing, and they would take their tops off, and you could see their breast, and they had on panties. But they'd be up there like a Broadway show, dancing and shaking their ass, and there'd be music and kind of like a storyline, but the girls were very attractive, and it was like a strip show, but without being in a strip club. So it was more, I guess you'd call it like a burlesque show, more not as X-rated as a strip club, not as dirty. So the show was actually phenomenal. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. Very, very much better than I thought it would be, because I was like, I'm not really into stage shows unless it's like a concert, but seeing girls up there topless when you're 21, 22 years old, and they're phenomenally like top quality, in shape, fit women, you're like, damn, we're not in my small town anymore, baby. We're actually in the city of sin, Las Vegas. And so that part was pretty cool. So that was something you would never see anywhere else besides going to Las Vegas, is at a Las Vegas style show. And Las Vegas has so many different shows, from comedy shows to everything. And a lot of the things that were the problem was his sister couldn't go to a lot of the shows because she wasn't 21, and my buddy wasn't 21 when we first got there. So even some of the comedy shows, he just wasn't old enough to go. So when my brother, I guess you'd call my brother because he's my best friend since high school, he ended up being 21, and we ended up going to this comedy show, which was very funny. And the reason you can't go to pretty much any show is because in Vegas, it's the home of the alcohol and getting tore up from the floor up, baby. And my buddy didn't tell me we were going to go to the Coyote Ugly Bar on his birthday, and I didn't even know that the Coyote Ugly Bar was real. I just thought it was something made up for the TV show, and it was just something that was in the movie. So when he actually told me we're going to go to the Coyote Ugly Bar, I was like, is it really going to be like the movie where girls are twerking on the bar tops? And my buddy was like, oh, I got tickets to like a VIP pass that's going to allow us to get into the club. I guess you would call it a bar, a club, a pub, whatever, before you have to wait in line. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, we could get past the velvet rope, baby. So we walked in to the area, and he showed them these passes, and they actually allowed us to get past like a couple hundred people that were waiting in line to get into this place. So Las Vegas clubs are based on if you have VIP status, or if you could just work your way in, you can get into the club. Eventually you'll get into the club if you're in the long ass line. So for me, I've never been a big bar person or a clubber, so going to this for my very first time, and especially in a town that I'm not familiar with, and knowing what the movie was all about, I really had no idea what to expect going into this club. So basically, it holds maybe like 70, 80 people, if I remember correctly, and it really is what you see in the movie. Girls twerking on the bar top, girls going crazy, girls going wild, they say. And I remember one of the DJs, one of the like head women, she's like, if any girl wants to get a free cocktail, get your ass up here right now. And it doesn't matter if they're attractive, not attractive, they just wanted it to be a good atmosphere for people having a great time. So I remember there was girls twerking on the bar top and like really booty popping at the full max. And as a dude from a small town, you're like, damn, I'm not in my small town anymore. Oh shit, this is a phenomenal. Like, you're just seeing these women, you're just like, because you've never seen that before. And as a 21-year-old dude, you're seeing fine ass women shaking their ass. You're just like, oh shit, this is crazy. And you're tapping your buddy, and your buddy's like, Hell yeah, it was phenomenal. And then I remember getting some Jello shots because my buddy said, "Hey, can you go and get me some beers?" And me and my buddy are Heineken guys, right? We love Heineken. We drank Heineken, and he goes and tells me to go get some Heinekens. So that's exactly what I do. I walk over to where they're serving Heinekens. I said, "Can I get 2 Heinekens?" And then I look over to the left, and I was like, "Oh shit! There's something called Jello shots." And I only heard about this before, right? I've never had them. I didn't know what was in them, and they were like $1.99. So you can get like a lot of them and get tore up. And I had no idea what they really were. I knew they had some alcohol in them, but I didn't know if they were going to be like weak ass alcohol or if it's going to be very strong. And apparently, these had gin in them. And I said, "Can I get 4 of them?" So there were 2 apiece. And when I knocked them back, I was like, "Oh, shit." Because I'm a very lightweight kind of guy when it comes to drinking. I've always been that way. I can handle my beer, but I can't handle my liquor, right? If someone says, "Hey, Trevor, you're going to drink some wild turkey tonight," nope, because you're going to hear me. I'm going to throw up. So drinking these shots, they're probably about this big, I would say, about that big. And you just knock them back. And you don't really taste any alcohol because it's so masked by the flavor of the... And I remember knocking them back, and these 2 attractive girls came up to us. And I, like you said, you don't know when you're in Vegas if these are call girls or not. Because Vegas is okay for call girls. It's very normal for them to be out there and talking to you. You don't even know if they're transgender. You don't even know. Because Vegas has all the kinds of crazy shit. So, what happens is, these 2 real fine, attractive girls come up to us, and I'm talking like the body goes like this. Like that, like the body comes down and goes, like very curvy, like this. And I was like, "Damn, these hot motherfuckers are talking to us, dude." And he goes, "Yeah." And we started talking, and they were from like Denver, Colorado. Apparently, that's where they were from. Who knows if that's really where they were, because you never know when you go to like Vegas, like I said, if they're really from where they say they are, or if they're really from Vegas, but they're call girls. And I remember talking to him, and one of the girls said, "Can you hold my sweatshirt?" And I said, "Sure." And she goes, "Well, I'm going to go get a Jello shot." And the next thing I know, I see the same girl that I was talking to on the bar top, like bouncing her ass. And I'm like, "Good Lord, this is crazy." And my buddy and I, we had to be back. Well, we didn't have to be, but the rule was the timeshare hotel that we were staying at actually had a free bus service, and the bus left at midnight. So which is kind of weird because Vegas that's when people start going out and it starts to get popping. So it's kind of odd that the bus would be there at midnight, even though Vegas is like right when Vegas starts getting hot and the clubs start popping is midnight, right? So what happens is we end up talking to these girls, and one of the girls pops up and says, "Hey, would you mind coming back to my hotel room?" And I knew what she was wanting. She was wanting to get tore up from the floor up, if you know what I mean, baby. I'm not going to say what it was, but you know your mind can think about what the lady was thinking about. She wanted to go all night long, baby. So my buddy goes, and I'm like, "What?" He goes, "What?" And he goes like this. Fuck. And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Oh, sorry, ladies, we got to go." And the girl goes, "Go? It's only midnight." And my buddy goes, "I know, we're leaving early in the morning to head back to California, and we don't want to be late for the plane." And he only said that because his mom and his grandma and his sister were at the hotel, right? And the girl goes, "Well, how about we go to your hotel room and hang out for the night, and then you guys could drop us off on the way to the airport. You could drop us off at our hotel, so we could all have a fun night." And he goes, "Dude, I would love to, but I just can't." And they go, "Why? Is your girlfriend there?" He goes, "No, not necessarily." She goes, "Oh, so your wife or your girlfriend's here at the hotel room, and you're out here partying, picking up women? That's dirty." And he goes, "No, my mom and my grandma are back at the hotel room." And she goes, "What? Why would you bring your grandma to Vegas? What the hell? Vegas is Sin City, baby. You come here to party. You come here to do the things that you wouldn't do wherever you're from. He goes, well, my grandma and my mom paid for this trip. And they were like, they literally backed up and looked at us like, oh, y'all losers. Y'all losers. You should have came back. And I was thinking to myself, because we were toasted, right? At that time, we were at the point that we were already pretty toasted. I'm talking, I was already like buzzed. So if I would have went back with the women, I probably would have got down with the get down, if you know what I mean, baby. Because I was only like 22, 23 years old, so seeing phenomenal ass women like that, even if it was one time hit it and quit it, I was all up for it. I was like, hell yeah, I'm ready to go rock and roll, baby. But I didn't want to end up going by myself, so my buddy was like, we got to go. So I was like, hey, out of respect to my buddy, we ended up running a mile and a half outside. We got out to the outside of the little club area. We ran a mile and a half to the left, and my buddy goes, we're going the wrong way. We're going the wrong way. And we ended up running, like I said, like a mile and a half the wrong way. Turned around and ran all the way back to the bus stop. We end up getting there, and we only see one person there. And my buddy goes, hey, did we miss the bus? Because we know it's a little bit past 12 o'clock, and we need to get back to the timeshare hotel. And this dude that was sitting there at the bus stop looks at us and goes, why the fuck were you guys running? Where are you running from? And I looked at the dude and told him, we're running from New York, at the Coyote Ugly Bar. He goes, what? He's like, you know you could take a taxi cab home, right? We're like, yeah, but this is a free bus service, so we're wondering if we missed the bus. And the dude goes, no, he didn't miss the bus. The bus hasn't even come yet. And the bus is late because they had to work on it because there was like some problem with the bus. And I was like, oh shit, really? He goes, yeah, you probably could have stayed there for another half hour, an hour. Or he's like, if I were you and you guys are young, I would have just took a taxi home. And I was like, and my buddy goes, well, you know, when we get back to the hotel, we're going to go back to the gas station and get some beer, right? And when we went back to the hotel, we got some beer and we brought it back to the hotel, right? And my buddy was going to drink and I was going to drink at the hotel. But I was just like, no, I'm putting my headphones on and I'm going to bed, because there was no point in even staying up, because the whole night was like pretty much ruined. Okay, we went out, we talked to these phenomenally hot girls that maybe, regardless of the situation, might not have actually hooked up with us if I was in like my hometown or a little town, and they were just wanting to hook up because it was like the spare of the moment kind of party type thing. And the bottom line is, they probably would have hooked up with us in Vegas and we would have got down with a get down and had a great time. But maybe in my hometown, we wouldn't have got looked at the same way, because we were all drinking. But Vegas is like, hey, we're just going to do what we got to do, and we're going to do it anyway. But I just went home, and I went like this. I took my headphones. I was like, no, I'm putting my headphones on. I'm putting some music on my headphones, and I'm going to bed. And I just went to bed. I didn't even stay up for the rest of the night, because I was like, it's stupid, because we were going out to have a great time, but we were limited by your parents. Yes, his mom was the one that basically told us, yeah, guys, you got to be home by 12 o'clock. And I'm like, are you serious? He's 21 years old. We're in Sin City, baby. You're supposed to be out here literally partying it up. You shouldn't have your mom telling you what you can or cannot do. You shouldn't have your mom telling you that you cannot go out and party and you have to be back by midnight. That's baby status. That is very, very baby status. Especially on a vacation trip, you should be able to do what you want. That's why, like, when I go on vacation, or if I'm going to Vegas or somewhere where I know I'm going to be partying and thrashing and getting drunk, I'm not asking my parents to come. Even if my parents paid for the trip, I'm not going to be like, hey, Dad, you want to come and sit in a hotel room by yourself while me and my buddy go get drunk? No! You don't do that kind of shit. You go to Vegas to have a great time. So would I go back to Vegas? Yeah. If I go back again, what I'm going to do is a lot different than I did before. I would go to Coyote Ugly Bar. If a girl wants to hook up and I feel like I'm okay to hook up, I'm going to do it, okay? Normally I don't hook up unless I'm in a relationship, but I'm just like, hey, if I'm in a place where I know this is going to be a one-time only deal, then I'm going to do that, right? And there's like the zip lining, there's I think it's called Fremont Street. There's the Red Rocks outdoor hiking. There's so much shit that we didn't even do because his parents were there. And I'm like, dude, it's because your parents were in town. It limited the shit that we did. We did basically what his parents did. We went shopping. We went to the M&M shop. We went to the little pizza place at the New York. And I'm like, that's what you do with your parents and you're on a family vacation. You're not going to Vegas. Usually people don't go to Vegas on a family vacation and to hang out. You go to like San Francisco or you go to the Bahamas. You do something like that. You're not going to Vegas, where Vegas is known for the strip clubs. It's known for the partying. It's known for Thunder Down Under. It's known for these kind of sexual activities. And Vegas is known for, when you walk down the street, these people give you like little porno cards. They look like porno cards because they have a naked girl on it, and they're handing them out to people that are walking down the street. And basically, why they're handing them out, because they're call girls, okay? Vegas is the city of sin. It's the city where you do crazy shit. That's why they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And my Vegas first experience, I've only went there once, was not what I expected, okay? I expected to do more. I expected to drink more. I expected to maybe go to Fremont Street, maybe to go see certain things that I didn't get to see, right? And at the end of the day, Vegas, like I said, there's so many things that I didn't even get to see because the people I went with were in like their 60s and 50s, okay? And to this day, I talk to my friend and I'm like, dude, why did you ever want to go to Vegas? And he goes, yeah, next time I'm going without my parents. Of course you want to go without your fucking parents. It's fucking retarded to go with just your parents to go to Vegas. I can see if you're going, if you planned it out as a family trip, then don't even invite a friend that's going for your birthday to go get drunk from the floor up. Nobody wants to go and hang out with someone's parents and go do like family things. Like, I wasn't even going to pull out my phone and vlog anything because I'm like, why would I even do that when we're not doing anything crazy or fun or really exciting? Yes, it was cool what we seen. Like, we seen fast cars, we seen some hot women, we went to like a burlesque type of show, but overall, it wasn't the experience that I thought I would have, okay? I was like, Vegas is not for me. Vegas is just eh. And I think it was because I went with the people I went with. At the end of the day, if I could go back and do it with other people, maybe it'd be a better experience. Maybe if I go with my buddy Nick, he could give me a better experience because he grew up there and he went to high school there and he knows the place. But for someone who doesn't know the place and doesn't really go to shows, and we didn't really do much, we didn't even go to the strip club, and we even talked to somebody in a taxi cab, and he goes, hey, have you guys gone to the strip clubs? And we were both like, nah, we didn't go to the strip clubs. And even that dude was like, you didn't go to the strip clubs and it's your 21st birthday. We're like, well, we went to like a vampire show where they kind of danced on stage and had their tits out. And he goes, that's it? You didn't get no lap dance? You didn't do that? We're like, nah, we didn't do any of that stuff. And he's like, come on now. I was like, well, my friends, I was like, we're here with his parents on that 21st birthday. And this is where we're driving with the taxi cab back to our timeshare hotel last night. And the dude goes, your parents came with you to Vegas? Are you not responsible enough? I was like, oh no, I didn't even know his parents were coming, man. I assumed it was going to be us two partying for the weekend. I thought that's what it was going to be, like a bachelorette party kind of type of thing, where you go, you get drunk for the full weekend, and you just have fun. You drink the first night, you drink the second night, and then you relax and you go home. I didn't assume we were just going to basically go shopping and look at the shops and look at the colorful lights and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was cool seeing the colorful lights of Vegas because you don't see that where I live, but it wasn't, like I said, what I thought it would be, okay? We didn't really even gamble either. We just basically went to, like, eat. We went to a few little, stores and restaurants, and that was basically it. So, you guys listening to the Raw Talk podcast are like, wow, that story sucked. It did. You don't go somewhere where you know it's a party city, and you go with your parents, okay? That's just something you don't do. So, with that being said, guys, remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Was this something you thought of? Was this something you didn't think of? Or were you like, oh, I thought you were going to talk about you smashed. You had maybe some sex. you maybe saw a hooker, maybe you saw a transgender woman, and we're like, nope, it was just two girls actually at the bar that probably, more than likely, when they were asking us back to their hotel room, they wanted to get down with the get down. And my buddy was like, oh, it's 12 o'clock. We got to go back to the apartment. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. You got to just say, fuck the parents for now. Get in trouble. And if your parents say, where are you at? You're like, hey, we went back to a hotel room with these girls. And at the end of the day, your parents got to be like, okay, my kid's 21, 22 years old. They're doing their thing. They're safe. They'll be back. And you just got to realize they're grown-ass men and they're going to do grown-ass things. Even if it's a sexual thing, you got to realize, hey, these are my kids. They're doing kids' things. Not, well, my kid will be back because he doesn't want to get in trouble. You can't live like that. So that's why I always thought my friend's mom babied him. But, yeah, man, it is what it is. So this is another episode of the Raw Talk Podcast. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying today's podcast. Woo!